Hey, I'm Sonny Cohen, founder of Trip Rescue, a substance-related education and harm reduction course. Now, in the next few minutes, I'm going to describe to you what this course is, what it's all about, and the value it's going to bring not only to your life, but to the life of those closest to you. But to understand where we're going, it can be really helpful to understand where this idea all began. So rewind the clock a bit, and I'm walking into a party. I'm looking around, it's a beautiful place. There's a sunset happening outside, the music is amazing, friends are laughing. It's a good environment. But I looked over at one friend in particular, and I could tell something was off. And I knew he'd taken substances, so I decided to walk up and see how he was doing. When I actually got right to him, I could see something was really wrong. And when I finally got there, he passed out standing up. Luckily, I was there because I grabbed him and was able to put him on the floor. But it was a scary moment because his eyes rolled to the back of his head. His skin went pale white. He was in a cold sweat. And once we laid him on the floor, he was unresponsive and unconscious for about 60 to 90 seconds. Now, if you've ever been in an emergency situation like that, you know that that amount of time feels like an eternity. And a few things came through my mind at that point. One is that, wow, we might be experiencing a real medical emergency here where we have to call for help, and we were not close to a place that was convenient. And secondly was that I felt helpless because I didn't know what to do when somebody I cared about was experiencing a problem and I couldn't help. And that was where the idea of Trip Rescue was born, because I never wanted anybody else to feel that way ever again. Now, since that time, in that moment, and since then, in doing research, three things have become very clear to me. One is that people, even those who are experienced in the substance space, they think they know what to do when an emergency strikes, but in reality, when it happens, they don't know what to do. Secondly, is that a lot of people get their information from really unreliable sources, like the dark web or internet forums. Not the kind of place you want to be getting information that could impact your health in a really major way. And the third thing that I found, which was really disturbing, was that a lot of times people, when they need it, won't call for help because they're afraid of the legal ramifications for themselves or for the person experiencing the emergency. So I wanted to solve this problem once and for all, cut through the noise, and create a concise, clear training so that people, if these situations happened, you were ready and knew how to respond. So in this training, we cover a number of things. A deep dive into 7 of the most commonly used substances inside of certain spiritual and growth-minded circles. We also cover things like substance interactions. So what's toxic, what's lower risk, etc. We cover things like a step-by-step emergency procedure. So if you come across an emergency, you know what to do and what actions to take so you're not paralyzed in fear. A psychological harm reduction guide. So if somebody's having a really bad or challenging trip, you know how to be with them, let that move through, and not compound or cause additional trauma that could bleed into their regular life. And finally, a plain English guide to what the legal ramifications are state by state. So if you ever have to call for help, you know what to do, what the immunities are, and you can go eyes wide open into that. We also cover much more, but that's the concise version. Now, we in no way advocate the usage of illegal substances. That said, if you or the people around you are using them, or they're just around you in general, this course is definitely for you, and it could save lives. So take substance safety and your safety into your own hands and be the one who knows today. Buy the Trip Rescue course, and I hope to see you inside. Thank you.